Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of field cutting here. I live on about 10 acres out here and just kind of wanted to show you my setup that I use for cutting out here. I used to use old farm mauls and 8-ends and stuff like that, and it was a little slow, so what I ended up doing a couple years back is I went with a Kubota L4400. It's about a 40 some odd horsepower tractor. Ended up getting a Woods, I think it's about a 5.5 foot. It's an RM660 3-point mower. That seems to do a pretty good job out here. Gives it a pretty good cut. I just wanted to go ahead and show you the setup here before we get going. But there it is. It's a nice little Woods mower I picked up at auction a couple years back. It's got 3 blades on it. It's been pretty reliable the whole time I've had it. I've only had to replace, I think, the belt on it once. But the tractor, it's a pretty good running little unit. L4400, like I said, it's got about, I think, 40 or 45 horsepower at the PTO. I forgot which one, but today we're going to do a little mowing out here. Like I said, I got about 10 acres and it does a pretty good cut, but we're going to get some clips of me operating the machine and getting a good picture of the cut that it does. have it. After about 5 minutes on the Kubota with the woods mower, that's what it looks like. This isn't golf course grass by any means, but it cut it pretty well and stripes it pretty good. And I only sharpen the blades on that thing once or twice a year, maybe at the most. But after about 5 minutes, a couple passes on the Kubota, I think it does a pretty good job. So I got a lot more grass to cut, so I'm gonna hop back on the Kubota here, and I'm gonna get the mowing, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Where I'm at. I'm at the fuel station where I ran out of fuel in the tractor in the middle of a field in a sunny spot, and looked at the gauge and it was on E and started spitting and sputtering. So I'm hoping I shut it down in time. So we're gonna get 5 gallons of fuel, and hopefully I don't have to crack the lines on the tractor and get the fuel system primed again. But I'm pretty sure I shut it down in time. But probably let the dog out and get some lunch, and a 2-hour job is now turned into probably 4 or more if I got to prime the system. But hopefully I don't have to do that. So let's get some fuel and let's get back after it. Well, speaking of dogs, there she is, the star of the show. Yeah, looking like a little potato. What a dog. But anywho's, I gotta get back to the tractor here, and hopefully she starts after draining all the fuel out of it and running it dry. So hopefully I shut her down in time. So we're gonna get back to that and get going and get this grass cut. So here we go. Well, here we are. We are back. I just got 5 gallons of fuel put in it there from the gas station. I think it's about a 5 or 6 gallon tank on these things, but she's full of fuel now. I'm pretty confident that I ended up shutting her down in time to where hopefully I don't have to crack the injectors and prime it and do all that nonsense, but I'm confident I shut her down in time. Looks like she's full of fuel again. I'm gonna cycle the glow plugs a few times. I'm not sure if that cycles the fuel pump or anything like that, but cycle it a couple of times and then make sure she's in neutral. Don't ever start your tractor on the side in between the tire and the rear tire there. It'll run you over and kill you, but don't do as I'm doing. But like she didn't miss a beat. Perfect. All right, well that is a sigh of relief. So I'm gonna get back to cutting, get a few more clips here, and probably got about another hour cutting ahead of me, so I'm gonna get back to it. just wrapped up finishing cutting the fields. Got all the grass cut with the Kubota here. Standing here next to the L4400. The whole reason why I wanted to make this video in the first place was to kind of help people that were in the same situation that I was a few years back, looking for a good subcompact tractor. I found over the few years of buying and selling and going to auction sales and owning just about every brand under the sun you can think of, we probably had at some point in time, from the old Fords, the 8Ns, the 9Ns. We've had the 6000 series, 5000 series, you name it. We've had just about every Ford tractor, Farmalls, we've had WDs, you just about name it, we've had it. I've tested them, probably used them about all my life since I was about 15, so it's been about 15 years of different tractors back and forth. But I found the sweet spot for a lot of this stuff for if you got 8, 9, 10 acres, kind of like we do out here. Finding a good 45, 50 horsepower tractor, I think, is kind of the sweet spot to run. I got a woods chipper, the finish mower, brush hog, your blade, your York rakes, rototiller that we even have and do our garden and stuff with. We found that 45, 50 horsepower is the sweet spot. It's always good to have more horsepower than to have less. This is what I learned over the years. You can do quite a bit of damage with the smaller tractors, trying to do things that you shouldn't be doing, and it can get kind of sketchy and not only hurt the machine, but probably end up hurting yourself. I've seen quite a few different times, but specifically this tractor we picked up at auction. It only had 89 hours on it when we first bought it, and we bought it at a auction sale local here. It was probably only an hour away, I think it was. We bought it low hours, and I put about 100 hours on it since we've owned it in the last couple of years. But I'm a big fan of Kubota. They make their own engines. They made diesel engines for quite a long time now. They've put them in generators. They put them in all different sorts of types of implements over the years, and I've just found the reliability, being able to find parts for these things. You can go to any dealer, you can buy them on Amazon. They're super easy to work on. All your filters, your fuel, your oil, your air, your hydraulic filters, everything's easily accessible on this machine. I wish it was four-wheel drive, but I really couldn't pass it up for the price at the time when I picked it up. So I would go with four-wheel drive. I would try to find a loader as well on a tractor. I have a separate tractor that we have a loader on, but if I was starting over again and wanting to do something, I would definitely get a tractor with a loader. That way you have forks, you can get bucket attachments, you can get grapple attachments now for these things. That's what I would do differently now. But when it comes to implements, I found that Woods and Land Pride, those are the two that make the best implements in my opinion. You can just see we've had this thing for years and a lot of abuse that we've put this thing through. The sheet metal on this thing is so thick. I mean, there's no rust spots on this thing. The wheels, the casters, everything is heavy duty on this. The flap, there's not a single rust hole on this thing. So I've abused it pretty well. But Land Pride, I've had good luck with their rototillers, their blades, other implements that they make. But I'm a big fan of Land Pride, Woods for their implements. And then when it comes to the tractors, I'm a bit Kubota. I can't say anything bad about them. I wish I would have got the loader, like I said, but I couldn't really pass up the price that I got this thing for, so I kind of go without it. But like I said, I do have the other tractor that I use that has the loader on it, so that's what I would do if I were to do it differently again. But if you guys want to see more content of the different attachments that I have, doing the rototiller, the chipper, some of the other things I'm running the Kubota. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, go ahead and leave them down below and I'll answer them and get back with you. So for now, I'll see you in the next video, and I appreciate you guys watching and liking the video and sharing, and I'll see you on the next one.